mecha junk was no match for you. Serves you right. Keep suffering. Friend against friend, beating the heck out of each other.
A machine with the power of a persona? She was made to fight the shadows, but I had no idea what she was capable of. I feel like my mind's been drained even more than my body. It angers me to see that the general is watching over us with an expression of joy as if we were some performers for his amusement. I look up and glare at the monitor.
I don't know why you're making us fight, but it's pointless. We aren't fighting because we hate each other. The reason we can fight is because we respect and trust each other.
A low growl. That's the only sound I hear. The real Teddy's never made such a hateful sound. It's actually rather scary.
You're such a dumbass. What's with you?
Yeah. There we go. We start to see the slip. The image on the monitor distorts along with that outburst. The general is having trouble remembering the act of someone else, and his face bulges and ripples distributingly as his hate pours through the screen. Any pretense that copying the adorable stupidity of the real Teddy is now gone. I noticed that his voice split out those hate words. It's not Teddy's either.
Trust? So what if you don't hate each other? You're not like me. I was forced to fight against my will. I destroyed them with my own hands. You should all have to go through the hell I suffered. See how it feels to destroy everyone you call a friend. If I knew this was gonna happen, I would have made the rules so you had to kill your opponent to move on.
The general on the monitor continues to rage.
What are you talking about? Why did you set this tournament up?
You know you're not going to get answers. The moment I say that, I feel that all the dots have been connected. When Miss President had asked about the blue, out of the blue, if we were going to be forced to kill each other. The ominous muttering of kill one another. Where these both seem to have come directly from her past? Maybe she had been forced to fight against people she didn't want to fight. Had she been forced to destroy something that was so precious to her? There's no way to know for sure, but it's possible. Considering this, it kind of explains why her shadow would have created a tournament like this. That is, she wanted us to feel what she went through. I might not be entering entirely correct, but I feel like I'm close to the truth. Should I just ask General Teddy about my suspicions? But as I am considering raising my voice...
Pardon my eccentric entrance.
What?
Someone comes crashing through the ceiling. What in the world? I rush over to Aga-san to protect her from the falling debris. Hi, Elizabeth. How are you? You are my favorite character because I can nearly break the game with how powerful you are. When I look up, I see a young woman emerging from the dust cloud. Cloud of dust, sorry. Well, not as strange as I guess, she seems a little uncommon as well. But even despite that, why did she have to come through the ceiling? This room has doors. Multiple. Makes no sense at all. I had been about to get to the heart of the matter with General Teddy, but the monitor in the room has been destroyed, along with the ceiling. Though she seems oblivious to my confusion, the girl cocks her head and apologizes again.
Please excuse me. I didn't have the faintest idea that someone would be here.
Faintest?
Feigned? Fiend? Something along those lines at any rate.
Okay. What the hell is she talking about? Who in the world is this person? Oh, wait a sec. The blue suit she's wearing. It looks familiar. And with the silver hair and the golden eyes, could it be?
Are you from the Velvet Room?
My, is this what's known as being hit on? A forbidden ritual where one human approaches another based solely on appearance and bets on the inner self being equally attractive.
Okay.
What? No, I'm not hitting on you. You just remind me of someone I know.
Okay, so that actually sounds like I really was hitting on her. No, I need to stop thinking about that. In any case, I need to ask her
Do you
something.
happen to know anyone by the name of Margaret?
Margaret.
When she repeats her name, her face seems surprisingly youthful. I'd been taken aback by her bizarre speech and actions, but could this girl be younger than me? Her profile simultaneously evokes the images of a pondering philosopher and an innocent girl. I can't figure out how exactly to speak to her. Should I be more polite? I guess that doesn't matter too much. Anyway, worrying about the niceties isn't the most important thing right now.
Actually, we should introduce ourselves first. I'm Yu Narukami.
Ah, that had slipped my mind also. My name is Elizabeth. Dear me, to hear that name fraught with memories in such a mundane, remote place.
She thinks of this world as a mundane place? That's confusing. Yes, your Inaba may be out of the country, may be out in the countryside, but I don't think that it's as bad as people say it is. The girl Elizabeth suddenly bows elegantly to me.
Margaret is indeed my sister's name.
Ah, there we go.
Can I take that to mean that you are another guest of that room?
I see. So she's Margaret's sister. That would explain why she reminds me of her.
Elizabeth-san, huh? Well, I guess that's the case. It's true that there was a time when I visited that room.
Igor, Margaret, and now Elizabeth. It seems that there are more people who can call that place home, I thought. I think I'm glad I met Margaret last year instead of this girl.
Why is a resident of the Velvet Room here? Did Margaret send you with a message or something?
I am currently utterly neglecting my duties.
Is that so?
That doesn't really tell me much, and I have no response anyway. So what possessed her to come blasting through the ceiling instead of using the door? I decide not bothering asking her that. I've met so many different people over the last year. I'm trying to have a conversation with this girl. It's like trying to ride a wild horse. She's not going to ignore the direction I'm going to steer towards and just veer off wherever she wants. Best just hold on and go along with the ride then. Maybe if I pay attention, she'll tell me something worth my time. Even if I try to ask her any questions, she'll likely just be confused anyway. Just as I'm having that thought, the girl seems to have noticed my hesitation and starts to talk about herself. Her eyes are lit up with a sinister passion. She really is a hard one to read.
I have a certain desire. It may take a very long time for it to be realized.
Okay.
In order for my wish to be granted, I require a power much greater than what I have.
Uh-huh.
The power of the wild card that changes bonds into strength. I have a feeling that the key lies there.
And I have the wild
I
card.
know a little about the wild card, but
I feel that the first glue to granting my wish lies within that power.
glue?
Flu? Influenza. Something along those lines at any rate.
Girl, you crazy. She's having trouble coming up with the right words, but I can hear the sincerity in her speech. Probably. In other words, I think she means what the power of the wild card is related to her desiring came here. I don't think it's worth to ask how she knows I had that power or where she found out about it. Just as I'm struggling to follow the meandering path of her conversation, she brings up an outrageous suggestion.
Might I suggest that you and I fight?
Okay. What? Someone please tell me how she reached the conclusion that this was a good idea. I don't think I have a choice of talking her out of it, though. But of course I have to try, so I say.
Oh, how excited this is making me. My expectations are ascending skyward at Mach speed. To be direct, I'd like for you to show me the potential slumbering within you.
I'm sorry, what? Potential slumbering? The fuck does that mean?
Something, just in case. You understand what I'm saying, right? There's no
Such parlor tricks can get stuffed.
I see. So you're actually in your right mind here. That's kind of...
Well, maybe she understood what I meant when I mentioned the illusions. If that's so, then she at least must have an idea of what's going on around here. Even though she might understand it, she still wants to fight me. I wonder though, if she's unrelated to General Teddy's plans and invited herself into the tournament, do the usual rules apply? As I think about this, Elizabeth-san taps her foot on the ground and takes a fighting posture. She really does want to fight. The huge leather-bound book in her hands opens as if by itself. A torrent of power pours from the open book with a blue light. I can't believe that this strange girl has such unimaginable power. She seems so aloof. No, it may be more correct to call it an air of intimate violence.
Alright. I won't be able to hold back.
To be honest, I was really only saying that in the hopes of bluffing her. I have obviously no room to hold back in this fight. I hurriedly cast off my fear and focus on the upcoming battle. There's no room for doubt if I hit her with my full strength from the start. Even if I were to fight her with intent of killing her, I'd likely not. Sorry, I can't read. I'll be lucky not to end up dead myself. At least that's how I feel. Elizabeth Sounds calmly begins the battle.
Let's do this. Your fate is in the cards.
Gotta believe in the heart of cards! Yeah, I'll make a bookmark. Alright, let's kick this bitch's ass. We'll see after what happens and then probably pause from there. I wasn't expecting her to drop through the fucking ceiling. I had a feeling I'd run into her because this kind of runs like an arcade mode of you have to beat everybody.
Impressive. Remarkable. Over here. Oh no. Impressive. Oh no. From this moment forth, change things up.
Over here! Over here!
I see. Please do
Yeah,
worse.
her persona's actually really good.
Opening my Impressive. Change things up. Here's the best.
Doing that shit and whatnot. Okay, I need
Over here.
to start playing here. There we go. That was a little too close. But it's just because she's really powerful. Just when I thought I had managed to throw her off balance, Elizabeth-san gets back up elegantly as if nothing had just happened. Suddenly I feel an intense build-up in the air. Don't tell me she hadn't been taking this seriously at all. Up until now. In the next moment, I'm swallowed into a torrent of power, like a leaf being blown into the air, without the slightest understanding of what's happening. My vision blurs as I spin about, and before I can tell up from down, the floor jumps towards me, and I'm slammed into the ground. And I'm going to lose? As my consciousness fades, I see the faces of my friends, and Ega-san, and all those I had fought against up until now. It's not like that story that you see your life flash before your eyes just before you die. I'm dying? Can I really accept that? Hell no! It's not over! It's not over. I haven't lost yet. I can still fight! I've come so far. I can't lose heart now. I desperately force my legs to move and manage to stand up again. Elizabeth shuts her book with an air of finality.
I see. I am quite content with this outcome. It seems you possess true strength.
Okay. The unyielding torrent of power suddenly ceases without warning. It's over? Even as I come to understand that I continue to stand stock still, unable to move.
I believed you were at the limits of your stamina after the battle against Igus earlier. In actuality, your heart almost gave in during your struggle with me. But each time you faltered, the many hearts supporting you gave you strength, helping you to rise again.
I wonder what happens if you perfect the fight. If you actually beat her perfectly, does she say something different? She cuts herself off and nods to herself, as if to confirm something suspicious.
This was truly an intriguing battle. I believe our encounter has borne much flute.
Flute?
Flue? Chimneys. In any case, I am quite pleased.
Bitch, you crazy! Even after a battle, she acts like that. I feel like a fool for believing that she really would have killed me. Even if it felt quite real at the same time. I can't believe any of this. My legs give out under me and I sink to the ground. Maybe she understands how I feel. Elizabeth-san looks straight into my eyes.
May I ask you something? To continue fighting in order to prevent an undesirable future, it is a path of endless hardship.
Yes.
Would you still choose to walk it?
Yeah. Margaret had said something similar just before this tournament began. How I had overcome the ordeal concerning last year's case and opened the door. Margaret and Elizabeth-san's words came together in my mind.
Yeah. Working for a better tomorrow isn't just a one-time thing. The tomorrows keep coming.
The opening of the door is necessary, but it's not what's truly important. What's truly important is making sure that you're following the path that's beyond the door. Only once you have that path in your mind does it matter whether you open the door or not. That's how I feel.
I would keep fighting for the future we want.
Elizabeth-san smiles at my answer. It seems the former dweller of the Velvet Room is pleased with my answer. She must have chosen a path of her own at some point and is doing everything in her power to see it through. Maybe I'm jumping to conclusions, but I have a feeling as if I'm able to understand her a little better
Well,
now.
it's time for me to bid you adieu. By your leave, I, Elizabeth, am out of here.
Okay. With this, Elizabeth briskly walks out of the room. She caused me so much trouble. I'm also learning something about myself as well. I think I'll call it a draw. As I wave goodbye to Elizabeth, I hear Aga-san getting to her feet behind me.
Are you alright? You shouldn't force yourself to move.
I was concerned at first, but Aga-san doesn't seem to be very hurt or damaged, or whatever you would say. She was likely just knocked out. I had absolutely no chance of winning if I'd gone easy on her. This is getting
You are
ridiculous.
very kind. We've only just met, and yet you're worried about a machine like myself.
Huh? Isn't that normal?
Aga-san laughs at my confusion.
Seeing you smile like that, I don't know. I just can't think of you as a machine. You have a heart, right? Then it doesn't matter whether you're man or machine.
Aga-san stops laughing and thinks deeply for a moment. But after a few seconds, she looks back at me with a serious look in her eyes.
You have defeated me in single combat. That will make it difficult for me to continue forward. But I believe I can trust you. Will you listen to my mission directive?
I have no reason to say no. I look at Aga-san square in the eyes and nod reassuringly. And so I guess Aga-san tells me about her directive, and it was truly surprising. There was no other case involving personas and shadows outside of Inaba, even before our adventures last year. And she's a weapon with a heart, created with the express purpose of wielding a persona to fight the shadows. She believes that this current situation came to be because someone had stolen a similar weapon and caused it to enter the TV world.
So, there's another girl robot with a heart like you? And she's the cause of all this?
We came to this world to retrieve her. My older sister, the 5th generation anti-shadow suppression weapon, Labris, is in this world somewhere.
Nanako, Miss President, her shadow, and now Labris. One of those things is also the same. You'll have to figure it out yourself. I've a mountain of tasks to accomplish now. They all end at the same location, dumbass. But even though I have a lot to do, I can't ignore anymore.
Tell me more about Labris, and I'll do what I can to help you get her back.
Unfortunately,
Aga-san's expression clouds. She said that she was a machine, but she really is no different from a human. And as I'm listening to her, I think about what it means in my search for Labris. It's not helpful.
So you don't know what she looks like, what she can do, or what equipment she's loaded with.
Basically, all she can tell me is that Labris is a robot who's built to look like a girl. It's not very hard. It's pretty noticeable what's a girl and what's a girl robot. Like, it's pretty obvious. Wait a sec. Didn't I meet a girl who I didn't know in the TV world, Miss President? Could Miss President be Labris? Dun dun dun!
Is there a possibility that she looks, well, more human than you? You mentioned earlier that she was your older sister, so I assume she was built before you, but...
my sister was an older model, a prototype for the 5th generation to be exact. It's doubtful that she would look more human than myself.
And there's no way Miss President could be Labris. Alright. I could tell at first glance that Ega-san was a machine. Miss President appeared to be completely human. I never once considered that she might not be human until just now. Well, that just makes the things even more complicated. What in the world is going on inside this
All
TV?
right. In any case, I'll keep an eye out for her. But right now, I'm heading to the announcement room. If Labrys is the cause of this, then I'm bound to meet up with her eventually.
I shrugged slightly. I don't want to be so grave. Ega-san must sense what I'm trying to do and smiles.
Thank you. I will trust my sister's fate to you.
Of course. I give Ega-san a determined nod and run out of the classroom. But man, what a busy golden week. I have to make sure Nanako's okay, find Miss President, unmask whoever's masquerading as Teddy, and now search for Labrys somewhere in here. Jesus. If this wasn't happening, I'd be kicking it with my friends at the Junior's Food Court! Yeah! Hugo seemed to be trying to be coy, but I'm pretty sure that big bundle she was carrying was probably boxed lunches that she'd made. As to how they might taste, well, let's not get sidetracked. I'm sure we'd all have enjoyed them anyway. Eventually, I would have called Nanako over, and we would have brought some stacks together. There were things I wanted to buy from Shuriko's store, and maybe I could have. I could have made it to Suzani Dajiko in time to buy the last of their special crochets. Oh yeah, because that's Kanji's last name. Because if you watch the anime or play the actual game, you know that he actually knits. I want to talk with the owner of Dandirio and get some books from the Gyomando bookstore. I'd have had a steak bowl at Aya. Hung out with the fox at the Tadzuyumo shrine, waited for my uncle so that he could have dinner, and tomorrow I'd have gone fishing. Yes, we get your plans. Can we get to the fucking location already? If the one who ruined my holiday causes all these problems is the same person who stole Labrys, if they truly brought Nanako into this TV world,
They're not getting away from me.
As I run on, I come across yet another blue door. Perhaps it's a sign that I need to calm down. True, I may have lost my cool for a moment.
Someone here? Again?
I reach towards the door with a relaxed smile. Can we get a save point after this, please? Margaret is in her usual position. I glance around to see if there's anyone else in here. It looks like her nutcase of a sister is in here. Margaret noticed me looking inside. A seductive sound that also conveys annoyance.
It seems my sister has caused you some trouble, though this may mean that I'm not the only one who is drawn to the light of your potential.
Bitches want my light! There's a hint of tenderness towards her sister in her words. Her sister must be important to her. As should be. I can tell from the look on her face. Do I look do I look like that when I think about Nanako? Margaret pulls herself together and speaks.
You have gained new resolve by overcoming many doubts and falsehoods.
A new resolve? I find myself nodding along.
You have reached the threshold of truth. But man's hearts are mutable. That is why a resolve to continue fighting is more important than any one victory or
Yeah, I understand.
But this will be a difficult battle without end. Are you equal to the challenge?
Damn right. The way she puts it makes it seem as if she was testing me. I don't respond immediately, but I think about the question. It would be lying to say that I'm not worried. I know that my heart can be swayed by change. There's no knowing what will happen from moment to moment. But even then,
If I have my friends, if I'm not alone, I can do it.
I see.
Margaret nods slightly in
I have
response.
heard your answer, but it's not enough. Remember what I told you before? The heart is shaken more by a single action than by 1,000 words.
How about 10 pictures? As she smiles, my vision begins to blur. I hear words being repeated. I have reached the threshold of truth. Everything that's happened during the course of this case runs through my mind. The new appearance of the TV world, this tournament pitting us against each other, the student council president, and a fake Teddy. My encounter with a weapon with a heart, Aegon searching for her sister Labras, and the determination that I've gained through these constant battles. What I must accomplish? How do I show that I've decided through my actions? Yes, place bookmark. Finally! Scene 50. Good lord! No. Oop, not that. Okay. Okay. Let me just check that. Should be fine.
Welcome to the Velvet Room.
Alright, scene 15.
This
7%
place exists
through the
between
game.
dream and
Almost a 10th! Alright, well this is gonna get cut down into multiple parts. Hey look, it's everybody I have not fought yet. And that'll be probably coming up pretty soon. It's gonna be... I'm gonna hate fighting Lady in the red hair. Anyways. Thank you very much for watching me go through this game where it causes me to talk a lot. So... It's been pretty fun though. I do enjoy this, and I've also started watching the Persona 4 Golden anime, which is pretty good so far. It doesn't give you a lot of context clues as to the whole story, but I think it's sort of a side thing that's sort of fun. And of course, it may be out or it may be still coming out eventually. There is of course Persona 4 Dancing All Night, and I'll be delightfully looking to those reviews because I like rhythm games. I do, but I'm just never been into dancing games. But if it looks cool, it might be cool because I don't know if I'll ever play a full Persona game just based on how long they fucking take. But this has been pretty good, and I'm actually starting to enjoy these characters. So, anyways, I'll shut up now. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.